Any moment now, any time between now and noon tomorrow, we could get to see at least some of what it was that prompted the government to seek the warrant to search Donald Trump's Florida compound. That search turned up at least 11 sets of classified documents. Today, Magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhart ordered a redacted version of the affidavit used in that warrant to be unsealed by noon on Friday. His decision came less than 4 hours after the Justice Department submitted its proposal for extensive redactions. The judge accepted DOJ's edits, noting that full disclosure would, quote, reveal the identities of witnesses, law enforcement agents, and uncharged parties, the investigation's strategy, direction, scope, sources, and methods, and grand jury information. The order is the latest key step in an investigation that has heightened political risks for Attorney General Merrick Garland and that poses a real legal threat to the former president. And as one former Obama White House official noted, Trump is now operating without the protection once provided by the presidency.
Donald Trump, for all of his incompetence and risk-taking and criminality, for 4 years, he had an enormous infrastructure of people essentially running interference for him. In the case of the White House counsel's office, trying, often not successfully, but trying to keep him from committing crimes or violating norms or violating protocols. That entire infrastructure around Donald Trump went away the second that he walked out of the White House. No longer was there a Bill Barr there to kind of run interference for him on the Russia investigation in a clever way. No longer was there even a Pat Cipollone there to tell him when he was about to be committing a crime, even if he didn't care about it. So I think what we're seeing and experiencing is this really was just Donald Trump stripped of all the powers and protections and infrastructure of the presidency, and frankly, without people with any experience or expertise to keep him from walking into the legal, huge troubled waters that he's in right now.
The former president posted his latest objections to the search and investigation on his social media site today, writing, quote, radical left Democrat prosecutors are illegally trying to circumvent for purely political gain the Presidential Records Act, which I have done absolutely nothing wrong. Well, let's fact check that right there. It's worth noting the Presidential Records Act actually establishes public ownership of all presidential records and establishes that presidential records automatically transfer into the legal custody of the archivist as soon as the president leaves office. Politico reports Trump appears to be leaning into the controversy over the Mar-a-Lago search to boost what could be his next political act, the pursuit of a second term in office. That is said to include his political organization sending out about 24 fundraising emails, complaining about the search. Trump's legal team is facing its own deadline tomorrow. That's when his lawyers need to resubmit and better explain his lawsuit against the Justice Department to a federal judge. Trump is asking that judge for a special master, a neutral third-party representative, to review the documents seized at Mar-a-Lago.